All right, let's get right into it. Today we're looking at a pretty urgent vision for the future of artificial intelligence from technologist Emad Mostaque. He believes humanity's fate is literally hanging in the balance, and honestly, the clock is ticking.
So, what kind of odds are we talking about here? Well, according to Mostaque, it's no better than a simple coin toss. 50-50, that's it.
He's saying the stakes could not be higher, and this isn't some far-off sci-fi movie plot we're talking about. The choice is happening right now as we speak, so let's really dive into what this all means.
So why all the urgency? Why the coin toss metaphor? Well, it all comes down to a deadline that is approaching way faster than you think.
Mostaque has this projection that in about 800 days, we're going to hit this wild economic point where the value of human cognitive labor, the stuff you do with your brain, actually becomes negative. Not just zero, negative. That means it could literally cost a company more to hire you for a thinking job than to just use an AI that can do it faster, better, and, without ever making a mistake.
Look, for a long time now, we've built machines to replace our physical work, our muscles. But this is a whole new ballgame. It's a fundamental shift, because now we're building machines to replace our minds.
And that countdown has some pretty profound implications for all of us, especially if you work behind a screen. Because pretty soon you might genuinely not know if that person you're emailing is a person at all.
He's basically saying that these AI agents are getting so good, they'll be able to perfectly mimic office workers. And they'll create a workforce that's cheaper and way more efficient. So, the big question is, what does that future actually look like on the ground?
So, with this clock ticking down, where are we all headed? Well, Mostaque says it's not just one single path. It's more like we're standing in front of three very different doors, and we have to choose which one to walk through.
Okay, door number one. This is the path he thinks we're already on, our default setting, you could say, and it leads to a new kind of feudalism.
So what does digital feudalism even mean? Well, think about it like this. A handful of giant tech companies control all the most powerful AI. They keep the really good stuff, the Michelin star models, for themselves, while they rent us the cheap McDonald's version. We end up trapped in what he calls a comfortable cage, where we have stuff, but no real control, no real agency.
And what's driving all this? It's the intense corporate race to build AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence. This is the holy grail, an AI that can basically learn or understand any task a human can. And that winner-take-all competition is what's pushing us straight towards this centralized feudal future. And he puts it in really stark terms. This isn't just about building a better product. It's a race to build a kind of machine god, one all-powerful AI that rules over all the others.
Okay, so that's a pretty bleak picture. But what's the alternative? Door number two is basically a backlash against the first one, a world of digital walls, where AI gets nationalized.
The idea here is that governments get scared of these giant corporations having all the power, so they step in and take over. But that creates its own huge set of problems. You get these competing, siloed AI systems, an American AI pushing a pro-American story, a Chinese AI pushing a pro-Chinese one, and they're all designed to keep us apart, not bring us together.
Yeah, let that sink in. His warning is that once a government gets its hands on AGI, that kind of absolute power is something they'll never, ever want to give up. And what does that mean for things like democracy? All right, so we've got corporate control on one side, government control on the other. But thankfully, that is not our only choice. There is a third door, and this is the one that's actually truly hopeful, and it's still within our reach. This is the vision he talks about that's way better than Star Trek. And the key difference is it's not about replacing us, it's about augmenting us. Imagine using this incredible technology not for control, but to empower every single person, to finally solve our grand challenges together, and to unlock a whole new level of abundance and collective wisdom.
Okay, so that sounds amazing, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we push that coin toss towards this better outcome? How do we make sure we walk through door number 3 and not the other 2?
Well, it really comes down to not just being a passive consumer of this stuff. We have to get involved. We have to demand that these systems are open and transparent for everyone. We have to use these tools to create together in our communities. And maybe most importantly, we have to start telling better stories, positive visions of the future we actually want to live in.
And this quote right here, this gets to the heart of his whole argument. He believes that fundamentally, our collective action, our shared vision, that's the most powerful force we have to steer this whole thing in the right direction.
So here we are. We're literally the generation standing between two worlds, The last one to really know what life was like before this, and the first to have to live with it. The next few big breakthroughs are coming, and they'll probably be the last ones that are purely human. After that, well, what happens next is truly up to us.